मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, Minister refuses to resign over claims. COVID-19 is now a global pandemic. And Fiji continues to feel impact of coronavirus.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
A high-ranking minister in the Fiji First government has been asked to resign by his own party over allegations of sexual harassment and misconduct. Lands Minister Ashnil Sudhakar was asked yesterday by the party General Secretary to resign amid allegations that are believed to have emanated from text messages that were sent by the minister to a female member of the law fraternity. Tonight, we can also reveal that apart from this female, there are a few others who have raised the issue of such behaviour by the MP. Koroitandulala has more.
It was messages such as these that has got the Lands Minister in trouble, and today his own party is not holding back.
Of course, asked the Minister to resign given the enormity of the allegations and the seriousness of the allegations, because we believe it would have been in the best interest both of him personally and also the party that he resigns.
Syed Gaim says they will now constitute further action under the Fiji First Constitution since the MP has refused to adhere.
We have to go through a particular set-out process, which we are now going to initiate in the next couple of days, where a committee will look at the allegations and of course then deliberate and hear from all sides and then of course make a decision.
Fiji First also confirming the complaint was received from the woman.
We've seen a pattern of behavior. We in fact asked the Minister to tender in his resignation, which the Minister refused to do so. So therefore we will have to go through the process as set out under the Fiji First Constitution in respect of disciplining people or expelling people.
Sudelpa MP Linda Tambuya, while commending the woman for coming forward, says severe action needs to be taken.
The government, I believe that they should be suspended. That particular minister should be suspended pending investigations.
In the past, Sudhakar was alleged to have verbally upset a female staff member of parliament during a retreat for MPs at a resort along the Coral Coast. The female staff was summoned to appear before the committee investigating the Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama and Pio Tikonduandua case. This was revealed in the verbatim report of the Parliamentary Privileges Committee dated September 5th, 2019, which was tabled in Parliament on 2nd September 2019. Koroitandulala, FBC News.
The COVID-19 chaos went up another level across the world today after the outbreak was officially declared a global pandemic. This afternoon, US President Donald Trump banned all travel from Europe. The impact of COVID-19 is already being felt by businesses in Fiji. The Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation says due to the impact, businesses are revising their contingency plans daily to ensure they survive the current situation. Lena Reese reports.
FCEF Chief Executive Kameli Mbatiweti says the impact is being felt since most of the products sold in Fiji are sourced from China, which is currently being viewed as the center of COVID-19.
Some of their stock levels are beginning to deplete, and as a consequence, they have contingency plans that they review daily, and then they look at it again at the end of the week, plan for the following week. Etc. Their main objective is to ensure that they keep their business running for their consumers.
The Minister for Trade had highlighted that the impact on Fijian businesses will be determined by how COVID-19 affects the world market.
I personally feel that looking at the supply chain plus our trade with the rest of the world and how things are unfolding in different countries, our economy will be affected, businesses will be affected. But how can we prepare better?
Kumar stressed that Fiji's economy is tied in with global trade and will feel the impact of COVID-19. Lena Reese, FBC News.
Entire businesses in the country are bracing for supply disruption as COVID-19 slowly starts impacting global trade and the supply of Chinese tyres. Leading tyre manufacturer and distributor Bandag Fiji Limited says Chinese tyres make up 90% of the imported tyres in Fiji, and disruption in the supply chain is starting to be felt. Apanisa Wangarandova reports the decline in imports is likely to be worse than expected, not only in Fiji but globally.
In its 45th year of operation, Bandag Fiji says it's starting to feel the pinch of COVID-19.
Indirectly, everyone is affected. Either it be end users, companies, corporates, everyone are affected.
The company confirms they have run out of new tires and offers a solution vehicle owners might have to resort to.
There's a problem that we don't have new tires in stock. Yes, we can counter that with retrading the worn-out tires, which we have been supplying in the market for the last 45 years.
Drivers concerned with the growing fears of COVID-19 says they expect difficult time ahead.
I think it affects our business, especially as taxi drivers.
I think the government should look into that because of the public in Fiji.
It will be very hard to get the tires from China, where most of the stuffs are coming from there. So after coronavirus, I don't think we'll be able to get tire for maybe a year.
Bandag Fiji says many bus companies and truck operators have been using retreated tires for many years for their rear wheels. However, acquiring new tires for their front wheels is now the challenge. The same goes for private vehicles, as there is high demand for new tires from owners. Apanisa Wangarandova, FBC News.
A supplementary budget will be announced on March 26th. The Parliamentary Business Committee met this afternoon and approved, as per pursuant to Standing Order 102 of the Standing Orders, that Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum will present a supplementary budget at 7:30 p.m. on the day. The committee has unanimously approved that the parliamentary business scheduled next week be deferred to the parliamentary sitting scheduled for April 27th to May 1st. Subsequently, the supplementary budget debate week will take place from the 6th to the 9th of April. Up ahead, massive food wastage affecting environment. An urgent need to review Public Health Act. Details after the break.
Pula nadang ko apros lang karse, go erkraki. Do televizyon navarong na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
1.3 billion tonnes of food produced are wasted every year, and this is affecting the society and the environment. With this in mind, the Consumer Council of Fiji today celebrated World Consumer Rights Day, focusing on food waste and saving money. Pranita Prakash reports.
According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, 800 million people have limited access to food around the world.
If we reduce our waste by 1/4, we would have enough food to feed the world's population.
Food waste also affects the environment, and in Fiji, 0.8 kilograms of waste is generated by a person on average per day.
Our behavior towards the environment should improve as consumers to be sustainable consumers. Therefore, we strongly support and we promote composting to the general public to address the management of food waste, household waste.
This is also becoming a costly exercise for the 13 municipal councils.
The total management costs incurred by all the councils from the last 2 years are 3.6 million. This is for 2018, and 3.3 million for 2019.
The municipal councils are also working towards managing waste in their communities and raising awareness on the issue. However, Fijians also need to be responsible. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
In an effort to encourage sugarcane farm purchasing, a new grant and loan initiative was launched by the Ministry of Sugar and the Sugarcane Growers Fund in Lambasa today. The Prime Minister's Ngeleni Sugar Grant will see government and the Sugarcane Growers Fund work together to help farmers purchase new farms in order to help grow sugarcane production in the country. Eleanor Tarangaivu has more.
Under the Prime Minister's Ngeleni Sugar Grant Initiative, The government provides a grant to new farmers to meet 15% of the land acquisition cost, or maximum of $10,000, whichever is less.
So what we are doing, we are trying to bring in young farmers who could be professionals, who could be teachers, who could be retired people from their formal work, so that we can get them to do farming.
As part of the initiative, the Sugarcane Growers Fund will bear 70% of the total cost of the land acquisition through a loan to the farmer. The farmer will only fork out 15% of the total cost of the farm.
And government will continue to put a lot of effort and attention to the sugar industry with various subsidies and grants. These services have been some of the expectation, and this is to increase the production and improve the livelihood of our farmers.
And to encourage more youth and women to buy sugarcane farms, the Sugarcane Growers Fund has developed a couple of variations.
Where the youths below 35 years and our ladies, women, will be giving them a loan at 6% and the rest of them at 6.5% over the period of 12 years that you have to pay.
To date, the Ministry of Sugar has approved 34 applications pertaining to farm purchase only, where government has contributed over $170,000 as grant to meet the 15% farm purchase cost. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
There's an urgent need to review the current Public Health Act to clearly outline ways to address health issues and deal with diseases in this day and age. The Health Minister says the review of the Act will also include the revision of marketing regulations on unhealthy foods and the selling of non-alcoholic beverages to children. Koroy Tandalala with the details.
With the emergence of various diseases and evolving health problems in Fiji, the Ministry of Health says it is mandatory to review our Health Act.
When this Public Health Act was done many years ago, 50 years ago, there was at that time there was no H1N1, there was no COVID-19. The measles was probably rampant then. So things have significantly changed since then.
The Health Minister says the changes in lifestyle and food consumptions over decades is another reason why the current public health needs to be reviewed.
The ways of travel. Back then there was some air travel, but there was a lot of sea travel, so travel has now changed. So, and then in terms of, all the other things, there was not a lot of food that were packaged. So those are the reasons why we're reviewing the Act. Which needed to be done.
Again, I keep saying the major part of the target of the project was to look at the intermediate risk factors, high blood pressure and diabetes, and they continue to be the towers in the last from 2012 to now.
The Ministry of Health is now conducting public consultations around the country, gathering relevant submissions that may be used to assist with the reviewing of the antiquated legislation. Koroy Tandalala, FBC News.
The Suva Retailers Association has expressed concern over the rising cost of doing business in the Suva Central Business District. Some businesses may opt to shut down due to the mounting costs. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Suva Retailers Association claims that compared to past years, doing business now is tough as there is stiff competition.
Obviously, they will be, if the business doesn't pick up, some businesses may have to consider moving out or closing down because they won't be able to sustain the loss.
The association says that high rents are shuttering businesses.
The cost of businesses has gone up. There's a lot of factors to that. People are coming to town less now because there are other shopping centres outside of Suva Town. But people are coming less to town. The rents in Suva Town is high, which is basically a private sector thing. It's nothing to do with the government.
The Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation carried out a survey recently to ascertain the status of businesses.
Right now, no one is closing their business down just yet. No one has made their employees redundant or go home or whatever. So it's a watch and see game.
If this continues in months to come, then things will become tighter. The association says business confidence was low since last year. However, they are trying to have discussions with its members. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
And Whitney joins us now with the latest from business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break, tourism awards called off. And in growing Fiji, over $30 million invested in markets. Stay with us.
Eva, and I'm from Karavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business, the tourism sector has taken a bold approach and called off the Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards Gala scheduled for Saturday. This follows an emergency meeting of the Board of Trustees where it was unanimously decided to cancel the event in empathy for the tourism industry and the challenges that are emerging. FETA Chair of Board of Trustees Bill Whiting says this was done in support of the tourism stakeholders and their employees who are beginning to face very challenging times due to the disruption of the global travel due to the COVID-19 virus. BSP Life has announced that it has closed 2019 with a consolidated profit of $20.6 million, comprising $19.1 million for the life insurance business and $1.5 million for the health insurance. BSP Life Managing Director Michael Nathola says this is an increase of around 6% over the 2018 results. He adds they are also pleased to announce there was an improvement of 12.5% on policyholder profits. Nathola says in terms of benefits paid to customers, this exceeded $72 million in 2019 compared to $60 million in 2018 with over 180,000 benefits processed throughout the year at an approval rate of close to 97%. He says that the BSP Life investment portfolio was approximately $765 million in December 2019, a growth of $47 million or 6.5% over 2018. Gary now joins us for the latest from the money markets on how it fared today.
Global shares were set for a rocky ride yesterday as investors tally the economic damage of the coronavirus. On Wall Street, the longest bull market ever for U.S. stocks ended overnight with the Dow Jones index sliding into bear market territory. U.S. equity indexes mostly resumed a downtrend that saw all three major U.S. equity gauges touch bear market territory, commonly defined as a decline of at least 20% from a recent peak. In Australia, their government said that it would pump $17.6 billion into the economy to prevent the coronavirus outbreak from pushing the country into its first recession in nearly 30 years. Meanwhile, European shares closed at a 14-month low even after Britain announced a $39 billion war chest to soften the impact of the coronavirus. The market will now wait to see how aggressively the European Central Bank will move to combat the coronavirus economic shock when they make a decision on their interest rates tomorrow. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Here, today's exchange rates are set this morning as the coronavirus ravaged stock markets. On the money market, the Fiji dollar was showing some gains, rising against the Chinese yuan, the US greenback, the Aussie dollar, and the Kina and euro. The Sangamoli fell only slightly against the Kiwi dollar and the Japanese yen. The commodities market was falling. The price of oil has just dropped near its record low at $31 per barrel. Gold was down at $1,634 per ounce, and silver closed down at $16.53 per ounce. In growing Fiji, over $30 million was spent by the government to upgrade the infrastructure of all municipal markets around the country. Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar says this was to provide security for market vendors. Seniani Boyla reports.
Millions of dollars were spent by the government to install a number of CCTV cameras in municipal markets in response to reports of theft.
Providing security, we've improved in terms of lighting and so forth, because we feel that it's municipal council's infrastructure. They need to provide that service to the vendors.
Kumar stresses that the onus is on vendors to ensure their produce is secured.
We also expect the market vendors to ensure that while we are providing that security, they also need to be mindful of how they keep their money and how they operate their business, because you cannot expect the council to take full responsibility.
More cameras and otherwise more manpower. Plenty if the camera is not working. So we need any police or security from the city council to be just making around in the market.
Still the camera is there, but still some stuff is still missing.
Market security and market vendors have also been directed to ensure the safety of their facilities, and vendors are also being urged to be more vigilant. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Naka Whitney, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Tuwai calls for continuous support.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Jerry Tuwai is calling on rugby fans to continue supporting the side with the World Series yet to be completed. The Fiji Airways men's sevens are currently third on the series table with 83 points following the LA and Vancouver sevens tournaments, but the World Rugby Sevens Player of the Year says they will bounce back. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The Fiji Sevens team is fully aware of how fans feel following their late final defeat to South Africa in the LA Sevens and their quarter-final loss to New Zealand in Vancouver.
On behalf of myself and my boys, I'd like to apologize to everyone for the poor performance in LA and Vancouver. I know that everyone's disappointed about our performance, but yeah, Fiji will rise again, and I hope all of you will accept us.
The side arrived into the country yesterday and will be heading back to the drawing board as they try and defend the series title. Tuwai was also yesterday part of a jersey presentation by Combat Sports, which is focused on improving grassroots rugby.
I think this all rugby players want to inspire and nurture the talents of rugby in Fiji, and I'm really thankful for what they are doing.
He also donated 2 of his rugby jerseys to Tano Hotel.
It's a very special occasion for us. We finally framed it up and actually put it in one of the walls of the hotel, where it will be there for quite some time, where a lot of local rugby players or future talents that will be coming through our hotel will be inspired with the achievement that Jerry has made.
Meanwhile, the next leg of the series will be in London and Paris, which will take place in May. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Flying Fijians prop Manasa Saulo is part of the Fijian Latui squad not only as a player but a scrum coach as well. With 42 caps under his name, Saulo brings a wealth of experience to the side, preparing for their season opener of Global Rapid Rugby against China Lions on Saturday at ANZ Stadium, Suva. Caroline Tavi reports.
Head coach Senirusi Servakula says the World Cup veteran is a valuable addition to the team.
He's just here because we needed him. We needed him to come and lift the players, and especially in this in the area of the scrum. We need one of the local players that one of our own who's been there playing in the international arena to bring to give back to these young boys.
Given the Fijian Latui have been preparing from last year, Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor is hopeful the team will be able to deliver.
They have been training well. It's a long program. They started doing their DTEs from last year and in camps for about a month now. So we're hoping that they will rise to the occasion.
The Latui faces China Lions at 6:30 p.m. at ANZ Stadium in Suva on Saturday. You can watch the match live and exclusive on FBC Sports channel. Karoleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
Former Flying Fijian Setereki Tawake is in the country not only to watch his son play for Junior Japan, but also to advance his coaching qualifications. Tawake is one of 12 coaches who are part of the 3-day Fiji Rugby Union Level 3 coaching workshop in Suva. Menina Rakautonga has more.
He wore the national jumper 31 times and has been living in Japan for more than 10 years, but hopes to one day return and coach in Fiji.
I'm here to do my level 3 coaching. Yes, I learned a lot of things from the past 3 days. Yeah, I've been coaching in Japan. Maybe one day I'll come back to Fiji and coach in Fiji. It was fun because we have to speak in English and Fijian. because in Japan you always speak in Japanese. Yeah, it's a good bunch of boys, and it's very encouraging to see young coaches to come and do their level 3.
Fiji Rugby Union Development Officer Koli Sewambu says a lot has been covered by the local coaches in the 3 days.
It's been great. It's been an eye-opener. Change is inevitable, so for them coming into the course in the first day, they probably didn't know what to expect. But over the last few days, they've got to learn a little bit more and add a little bit more to their toolbox in terms of learning new skill sets. The focus of the course is around game planning, game reviews, profiling teams, analysis. So these are the sort of things they can learn and they can put into practice during our local competition here this year.
The coaching workshop ended today and more are expected to be held this year. Venina Rakautanga, FBC Sports.
The KVT Silktails matchday team has been named to face the Wolves in their opening match of the New South Wales Rugby League Ron Massey Cup at Lautoka's Churchill Park this Saturday at 3 p.m. The side was announced last night in Lautoka at the KVT Silktails launch. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The KVT Silktails team is just days away from competing in a top-level semi-pro development competition.
I think, for all of us that have been working hard behind the scenes, it's great reward, but I think the best reward will be when the boys run out on the field for the first time. We've got a full season that runs all the way through till September.
Coach Brendan Costin says that now it'll be up to the players to perform on the field, especially when they play in front of home fans.
Just need to hold the ball a lot more. We need to respect the ball, and keep the ball away from the opposition as much as possible. Just learning to play a professional style of football is, where we'll start. That's our step one. We'll improve every week. We'll grow, every week. But I think this week's going to be a real good test for our boys.
Former Fiji Bati captain Wes Ngama says the first game this weekend is a pathway for the players and also for them to experience the competition.
As a team, we're not focused on the wins and losses. We've come a long way just in the 9-week pre-season. We've improved every trial game that we've played to date. So, you know what I mean? These boys in Australia, they're different. They've played the game all their lives.
The side will be captained by seasoned player Apakuki Tavondi of the USP Raiders. Some of the players named in the 18-man team include Timothy Namotukula, Maika Sirulevu, Vereti Pedeli, Elisavani Tsengesa, Marika Tangithakmbau and Tikiko Noke. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Champions League holders Liverpool out of the tournament after a dramatic last 16 second leg against Atletico Madrid went into extra time. A finely balanced game turned on a catastrophic blunder by goalkeeper Adrian with Liverpool going down 3-2. In today's play of the day, USA women's football sensation Julie Ertz breaking the hearts of Spanish fans as she headed in the win against Spain in their She Believes Cup match. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you with weather later on, and in our weird and wonderful segment, chicken feet for human feet. Find out more after the break.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lautoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In new media tonight, a woman who dislikes smartphones has built a rotary dial cell phone because she hates texting. And our favorite weather lady, Angie, joins us with all the latest.
Good day, hey, a slice of PNG today. What can I say about the weather makes me dramatic, but you know, sometimes little showers makes the mood right. We actually had few showers for the whole week and it's getting quite frequent as we get closer to the weekend. Now looking to the west, showers were present. It will continue for the night. Eastwards from Pakhabarisuva, another day of showers, and it really didn't help. To the drivers, be safe on the roads, especially if you're on a long road trip. And up north, showers and more showers. How are we going to get over it? At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, rough seas. Now turning to the tides, high tide at 8:52 p.m. with low tide at 3:04 a.m. Sunrise at 6:08 if only rain decides to shift for some time. For tomorrow, it's the mighty Friday, but everything indoors. As the showers are not going anywhere, it will be accompanied with thunderstorms. Tomorrow's temps, even though it's raining, the air outside feels like 35 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, not to sadden you, but guess who's our overstaying visitor? The showers. This is all the weather news from my end. Unfortunately, Jackie, it was all showers right from the beginning.
Well, with all the heat we've been experiencing, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should Fijians avoid kava sessions in light of COVID-19 threat?
I think we should minimize to drinking grog because of the disease coming, coronavirus.
Yes, I suppose so. Because it depends on, whoever's got the disease could spread them from just a bowl of
Yes, I think we need to reduce the way we socialize.
I think for the time being, we have to stop. Stop for the time being, especially trying to sit and gather around with other, to socialize with people.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, Minister refuses to resign over claims. COVID-19 is now a global pandemic, and Fijian 7-star Jerry Tuwai calls for support. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question, we're asking, should Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber start resting key players for the Tokyo Olympics to avoid burnout? Visit the FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, another gorgeous one taken by Divek Gounder in Savu at around midday. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news, or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your news for tonight from the team and I. Stay safe, stay dry, drive safe. Good night.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.